Okay, today it is the LG 49NANO866, or on the side of the box it's 49NANO866NA. It does have a wide central stand, so I will get dimensions at some point in the video. I'll timestamp it in the description, so we'll get it opened up. Okay, so top of the box, we can just see a bit of that central stand there, figure 8 mains lead, and I think that's the neck of the pedestal base. And that's the pedestal neck there, figure 8 mains lead, and a sort of large crescent central stand, polystyrene out the top. Couple of more bits down the sides, and that is the screen itself, which I will pop to the side safely. Only thing left in the box: remote control and instruction book pack, polystyrene backing to act as my impromptu workbench. Remote and instruction book pack next. I'll just open this up. Okay, so magic remote again, which I'll get a close-up of the buttons once I can remove it. That's the magic remote, but we'll do a close-up in a second. Plastic cover there, so I guess that's for the back of the pedestal stand. AA batteries for the magic remote. Screw pack, some big hefty self-tapping screws for the pedestal stand, and some machine screws also for the pedestal stand. So instruction book, big hefty instruction book. Guide setting up Alexa and so on. Turn it around so everyone can see it. Registering your guarantee. Cover plan. Is it a cover plan? Yep. Guide to the remote and Rakuten, probably a promo there. That's pretty much it. Disposal information, cable tidy. Figure 8 mains lead. So figure 8 mains lead there with its right angled plug into the TV. This is the magic remote, so power button, that's to control your set-top box or whatever device you use if you link it up. Channel numbers, channels up and down, volume. Voice button, so you can add Alexa, so on, or whatever voice search services they have. The home button, settings cog there. You've got your scrolly wheel, clicks in, up, down, left, right, cursor arrows, back, guide. That's your input list. Quick fire, Netflix and Prime, Rakuten or USB devices, whatever else. Play and pause, and I guess when you're doing play and pause, skip backwards and forwards with the cursor arrows there. On the back, if I can get into it, AA batteries in there. To the pedestal stand and the neck there. So I'll get the neck out first. So big bit of grey plastic there with like a brushed textured finish on the back. While we've got it there, may as well have a look at the cable tidy part. So I'm assuming that will slide onto the back of this neck. He says somehow like that. So cables down here, out of there, and it will just come off again. It just makes it look nicer and keeps the cables tidy. So you can just see that it says light black pearl. So I guess that's what they describe the sort of brushed finish as of the pedestal stand. Okay, so I'm guessing that's the light black pearl sort of finish they're talking about. Again, it's like a really fine brushed finish on that plastic. Bit of cast aluminium there. And a bit of galvanised steel. Covered up by the plastic there, so that will look nice. While it's here, I may as well assemble it. So again, I'll just break it. Flick that around. So you've got a slot there. This part here has a tab, which I'm guessing we've got the four through holes there for the screws. So that into there. And locates like so. Then if I turn it up or turn it around, we can see there. There we go. Two little sort of slots and tabs there to locate. Okay, so those large self-tapping screws have got to be for this bit to go into the plastic. So I'll just pop those in. Screwdriver out. Let's fast forward this, me winding them in. Okay, so there are those self-tapping screws now in. Obviously we've got the machine screws which will attach this part here with the through holes to the television itself. And again, cable cover slides on there, keeps it nice and neat. Right, back to it. SD card messed up, so I hope I haven't lost all the previous footage, but that is the assembled pedestal stand now on the TV. I'll drop the camera in a moment. I'll get a quick close-up of the back of the television as well. Right, so quick close-up of the back there. We can just drop down and see. We've got analog audio out, HDMI 3 and 4 there. HDMI 1 and 2 are on the side, USB in 1, PCMI slot there as well if anybody uses those. So it's got normal terrestrial, aerial and satellite in. Analog audio or headphone out. So HDMI 3 and 4. HDMI 4 is set to 120 Hz. It's also audio return channel is on that HDMI 4. And it's enhanced audio return channel. We've got wide internet there and digital optical audio out. If I just zoom out of it, 200mm in focus, 200mm square VESA there on the back, M6 screws, and there's that figure 8 mains input as well. It's a nice sort of brush steel back in there for the back of the TV. Quickly, I'm going to get the dimensions of this pedestal stand. I mean, it's a central stand, but it's almost as wide as having feet, so I don't know what the benefit is there, unless you've got a large unit. Anyway, the width there is 84 centimetres or 33 inches, and the depth from the back to the front, I'd say approximately, let me just lock that in place. Okay, so the depth from front of the pedestal to the back of the pedestal is 26 centimetres or about 10¼ inches. Height wise, let's have a look. From whatever it stood on to the bottom of the TV, just under 8 centimetres or 3 inches. While we're here, if it shows up, it has got a really nice thin bezel there as well, so nice bit of furniture. The screen's pretty much flush to that bezel as well. Dimensionally, if it's a concern to anyone, we'll get the thickness of it. Yeah, it's maybe about 62.5mm thick, just under 6.5 inches. Okay, that's it from the front. Top. That's the back of it there. Alright, I'll just get the gumph off the front. There is no screen protector on this model. Wide internet, mains and aerial. So I'm not going to go for store mode yet, although we will have a look at the demo when it's connected. So TV only, I've only got aerial, but if you've got other devices, plug them in, switch them on and select what's relevant to you. Postcode for your regional programming. Okay, so I'm antenna, that's my aerial, but cable or satellite, pick what's relevant to yourself. So while that scans the airwaves, picks up its channels and so on, I'll cut this bit out so we're not too boring. Okay, so that's now finished tuning. This bit's important. It's saying it's picked up multiple regions, so 2 antennas in my region. I need to choose the correct one for the strongest signal where my aerial is pointing to. So UK, England, secondary region, I am Yorkshire and Leeds. Okay, so get started with those. You can quick add them, LG free channels or LG channels, some IPTV streaming services there, and Amazon Prime if you've got a Prime subscription.
And so some very
okay, so this is the out of the box standard settings. Looks quite nice and natural at the moment. I will just turn the sound up and I'll shut my mouth so we can hear the audio quality.
Now it says, the report, that the UK has been more willing recently to publicly point out where Russia has been doing things that the UK disapproves of. It points out, the report, that there are other countries in the West, France for instance, who have not been willing to do that. So poses very big questions about how the UK should shape up in terms of its relationships with Moscow, in a week where we've seen big discussions here in the UK about our relationships with Beijing as well. And all of this as Britain tries to formulate its future relationship with the European Union, now as a non-member of that European bloc. So lots of very, very big strategic questions being asked at the moment.
Okay, so that's enough of that. I will check out the retail demo because I'm sure it has one.
Well, that's Westminster. Let's get a reaction now from Moscow. I spoke to our correspondent Steve Rosenberg just a short while ago.
Moscow today did what Moscow usually does in this kind of a situation whenever it's accused by the West of something, and that is to
onto store mode purely for the retail demo, so everything's going to go bright and nasty, but bear with it.
Dismissed the Russian report as Russophobia and a fake, and we heard from the Kremlin, which said Russia has never interfered in elections, whether in a
Cool. Oh, another one. Right, I'll just take it back off the store mode onto home mode.
We know that Putin hates the European Union and rejoices in Brexit, but the scandal that's set out by the MPs on the Intelligence Committee today was that the question was never asked, and I find that quite astonishing.
And exactly on that point, they draw the contrast, don't they, with the way the US intelligence services handled the allegations about Russia interfering with their elections and how prompt their investigation was.
Yeah, they talk about flashing
I'll
lights.
just turn him down a moment. So onto the, well, press the home button. Look at the screen so we can see across there. Obviously we're on live TV at the moment, but LG Content Store for more apps that we can see up there. Now TV, Netflix, Rakuten Prime, Disney Plus, Sky Store, YouTube, which I'll have to install in a moment, Apple TV, so Apple TV services, and I think it does Apple AirPlay now from your iPhones and so on, and also there's somewhere separate there for screen mirroring, where art gallery, sports, web browser, photos and videos, look at your USB content or NAS drive stuff, music, Alexa there if you choose to install that if you've got an Amazon account, but I'll just go and get my YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to go to my YouTube, find one of my demos, and with some dark content so we can see how the backlight reacts. Okay. So back to live TV. There we go.
Medical doctors with, but it sounds interesting to me.
Right, so
Barbara Pett-Usher in
I
Washington
think I
on
will
why
call
the
that it
president
for now.
is bringing back these
Nice,
briefings.
good quality 49-inch. Quite impressed with that one.
Was because of the deluge of mockery
so
and
I shall
horror
say
that,
goodbye
that
for now.
President Trump
Good.
got.